Today we're going to expand and work on triangles. So for this lesson, we're going to look on the inside of the triangles. So what does a triangle represent? Well, let's think about angles. That's what we've been working with. So it says the sum of the interior angles is 180. So sum was when you add, interior is inside of a triangle is 180. So let's take a look here, okay? We have a 60-degree angle. We have a 60 and 60. If we were to add 60, 60, and 60 together, that would give us 180. If we take a look at a right angle, okay, the right angle is 90 degrees. This is 45 and 45. So if we were to take 90 plus 45 plus 45, if we were to add those up, those would also equal 180. So when we're thinking about triangles, we want to make sure that they all add up to 90 degrees. With that being said, we are going to have some missing angles, but knowing that they add up to 180 will help us get situated. So here is a great example. So we have triangle ABC. It says, what is the measure of BAC? So we're trying to find this measure. So when you're trying to find the missing measure, go ahead and put X there, that helps. So from here, if I were to set up an equation, because that's really the best option to help you, you can take X plus 75 plus 50 equals 180. Because we know that all of these angles equal 180. So when we do that, we can obviously go ahead and plug in 75 plus 50. We get X plus 125 equals 180. Again, our goal is to get X by itself. So we can subtract 125 from both sides. That goes away. We get X equals 55 degrees. So again, we're looking for the angle. Even though X is that missing space, the angle has to be that degree symbol. And again, if we were to add 55 plus 75 plus 50, they would equal 180. So that's a good self-check. Let's take a look at that next angle here. So we have a right angle. So again, whenever I see that right angle, I like to put that 90 degrees in. It just helps me get situated. It says, what is the missing or measure of FDE? So we're looking for this angle right here. So if I were to set up an equation, I would do X plus 90 plus we have 36 over here equals 180. So again, we're adding up all our inside angles to equal 180. From here, I can go ahead and combine 90 plus 36. When I combine 90 plus 36, I get 126. So 1 plus 126 equals 180. I've got a beautiful one-step equation here. I'm going to subtract 126. And I get X equals 54. Now again, when I put it in here, because it's the whole degree, I'm going to make sure I put 54 degrees. To do a nice check, I would plug in 54 plus 90 plus 36. I should get that 180. For angle 3, we're stepping up and leveling up here, okay? Here it says, set up and solve an equation to determine the value of X. So we have a lot of X's here, but the one thing we know is that angle A plus angle B plus angle C equals 180. So when we plug in our angles, we should get angle A, which is 5x plus 5. Angle B is 7x plus 5. And angle C is 5x. So setting it up is the hardest part, but we already know that all of our angles equal 180. So when I start combining like terms, because we want to make sure that this is simplified. So again, I'm going to combine all my x's. So 5 plus 7 plus 5 gives me 17x. And then if I look at my 5 plus 5, I would get 10. So we have 17x plus 10 equals 180. From here, we should smile. That's a beautiful two-step equation. I'm going to subtract 10 on each side. We have 17x equals 170. And from here, if I were to divide both sides by 17, I would get x equals 10. Now this is the nice part, we solved for X, but we did not solve for the variable, or the angle. So we have to go ahead and plug in here. So when we're looking, I like to go ahead and just take my X out and plug my 10 in. All right, 5 times 10 is 50, plus 5 gives me 55. Here, 7 times 10 plus 5, 7 times 10 is 70, plus 5 gives me 75, so this angle is 75. And then here we have 5, and then take out my x and plug 10 in. 5 times 10 gives me 50. So I like to solve within here and then go ahead. So the biggest thing is when you have these, I like to look at that middle letter. So angle B is that 75 degrees. Again, if I take a look at angle C, that's going to be 50 degrees. And over here, angle CAB gives me angle 55. Now, if I were to add these angles up, 75 plus 50 plus 55, there I would get 180. That's a really nice check for you to do, just to make sure you're on the right track. So here is where we're going to level up and do some of those problems. So let's try the next page and let's get some practice, okay? So again, you're finding the missing angles here. Okay, we know that all angles add up to 180. So go ahead, give this a shot, and then we'll be able to check. The next page, very similar. Again, we know all angles add up to 180. Okay, so we have angle A, B, and C. Once you get those, we can plug those in from here. And again, remember this is 90. Angle A plus angle B plus angle C equals 180. Hopefully you felt pretty confident. Let's go through this. I'm just going to go ahead and put the answers just to make sure that you felt pretty confident. So the number 1 is going to be 68 degrees. 2 is going to be 67 degrees for that missing angle. 3 is going to be 70. And then 4 is going to be 65. So these ones are our level 1 problems. Hopefully they're feeling confident. Question 5, all right, x is going to be 20. And then this one's going to be 60 degrees, and this one's going to be 80 degrees, and then this one's going to be 40 degrees. So hopefully you felt pretty confident you could check those. Angle 6, or not angle 6, question 6, all right, x is going to end up equaling 25. So remember, just the answer and no work's not going to help you that much, but hopefully we can help you get situated. So when we look at angle ABC, they're looking for this angle. So when we plug in that 25 for x right here, we're going to get 55 degrees. Hopefully you felt pretty confident, and if you have any questions, please let us know.